Hello everyone, this is Savita Acharya from Canara Engineering College. In this video lecture, we will look at a few examples on Verilog test benches. So here is the half adder program in two different styles. Okay. So this is the block diagram of the half adder truth table. This is the program using the assign statement. And the other style in which we have written the same half adder is using primitive gates. For that I need the logic diagram. So the logic diagram of the half adder comprises of one XOR gate and one AND gate. So that is what we have implemented here. Okay. Now the test bench for the half adder will be same in whichever style you have described the design. So whether you have described using assign statement or whether you have described using primitive gates, the test bench happens to be the same. The test bench treats the design block as a black box. So it is a black box. It is not necessary for the stimulus block to know the internal implementation details. Okay. So it just applies the stimulus to the external ports. So the stimulus block starts with module. Name of the module I will give as HATB, meaning the test bench program for the half adder. The inputs are A and B. I will give as a small letter A and B. And for a change, I will take the outputs as sum and carry. This is just to demonstrate that you can take any valid identifier names for your signals. This is the mapping is only going to happen by means of order in which you place the signals. Next is instantiation half adder. Let H1 be the instance label and the first two are the inputs. Now you have to look at the order as per the module definition. In the module definition, the first two parameters are the inputs. So that is A, B. Third one S is the is holding sum. So whichever signal you have allotted for sum, that should be written third, and C is the carry. So that is the last signal. Next, applying the stimulus, that is in the sequential block, initial sequential block, that is the initial construct. Okay. So as per the truth table, the first row will start with A equal to 0 and B equal to 0. Next, A equal to 0 and B equal to 1. 0, 1. So before that, say first there is no time required, time to be specified, because it will start from 0 time units. Now second, I need to specify after how many time units. I will take it as 10. Next, again after 10 time units, I say A will become 1 and B will become 0, and finally say again after 10 time units, A will be 1 and B will be 1. Is it okay? So this ends the initial block, and finally end the module. Okay, so this is the test bench program for the half adder. This is the output for the test bench program that I have written for the half adder. So here the two inputs A and B, we have started with 0 0 at time t equal to 0. Sum will be 0 and carry will be 0 as per the truth table. Hash 10 means after 10 time units A is 0 and B is 1. We have made B 1. So for that sum is 1 and carry is 0. And next hash 10, that is 10 plus 10. Now it will be, the change will be happening at 20. 20 time units, A becomes 1 and B becomes 0. So 1 0, again sum is 1 and carry is 0. And finally hash 10 means after 10 time units, that is 20 plus 10, that is at the 30, A will be 1 and B will also become 1, for which the sum will be 0 and carry will be 0. I have displayed the simulation for 50 time units. So the final value will be continuing to be displayed until the run length. This is an example of a combinational circuit which I have already seen in the online class. So after writing the expressions realizing from this logic diagram and minimizing the same, you will get the expression f equal to x of 1 plus x of 0 bar. And the truth table for the same is also given here. So the different thing here is the signals so far we have seen in Verilog, the signals were single bit wide. But here the signals are multiple bit wide. So if you see the example, for example, if you see the input is x, but it is represented as x of 0 and x of 1. So it is a 2-bit signal. F is single bit output. But in addition to that, there are some intermediate signals which are again multiple bit wide. So for example, y is a 2-bit signal represented as y of 0 and y of 1, and z is a 3-bit signal represented as z of 0, z of 1 and z of 2. Now we will first proceed to write the design block by representing these multiple bit signals, and then we'll move on to write the stimulus block. The design block will be starting with the keyword module. We'll give some name X for the design, followed by the port list. So port here is X only. Input is X and F only. Now we declare them as input or output. Now I cannot write just input X, because if I do this, X will be declared as a single bit signal. But X is a 2-bit signal. So Verilog provides an option of declaring multiple bit signals as vectors. So here you have to specify the index values. So here it's a 2-bit signal represented as x of 1 and x of 0. So you need to give these values, the starting and ending index values, inside the square brackets. So 1 is to 0. So 1 is the most significant bit index and 0 is the least significant bit index. Output is just single bit F. Now I will proceed to declare the intermediate signals Y. Now Y is also a 2-bit signal, so it needs to be declared as 1 is to 0 Y, and Z is a 3-bit signal. So the index values will be starting from Z of 2, Z of 1 and Z of 0. So the highest, most significant bit index value is 2 and least significant bit index value is 0. So this is how, followed by the name of the signal, that is Z. This is how you declare the multiple bit signals. Now describing the expressions. So I will start with the last expression first. Say assign f equal to z of 0 or z of 1 or z of 2. So this is the expression for f. Now next I will write for z of 0, z of 1 and z of 2. So if you see the logic diagram, z of 0 is x of 0 and x of 1. Z of 1 is y of 0 and x of 1, and z of 2 is y of 0 and y of 1. So next is y of 0 and y of 1. So if you see the logic diagram, y of 0 is not of x of 0 and y of 1 is not of x of 1. So y of 1 is not of x of 1 and y of 0 is not of x of 0. So this completes describing all the expressions that is shown in the logic diagram. Now here in Verilog you don't need to write the expressions from input to output or in any order. You can follow any order to realize the expression. So that is why I have just shuffled the expressions in random order. So you can put it in any order. It is absolutely fine. So this completes the realization of the circuit. So we conclude with the end module. Next we proceed to write the stimulus block. So stimulus block starts with module. I will give the name of the module as xtb and empty parenthesis. Now here the input is x, or it's a 2-bit signal. So I will declare it as a register 1:0 x. Now and the output is wire f. Now here you need not give the same names. I can give this as say A and this as B, anything, but only the width should be compatible when you instantiate. So next is instantiation. So name of the module is X. I give some instance label as X1 and the port list should be in the same order. So the first parameter in the module definition, the first parameter is a 2-bit signal and the second parameter is a single bit signal. So it should be compatible here. The first parameter is a 2-bit signal A and the next parameter is a single bit signal. Next is applying the stimulus using the initial block. The statements in the initial block should be enclosed between begin and end. Now here I will give values. So here the first parameter, which is a 2-bit signal, takes values 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So since it is a 2-bit signal, you should be giving the constants as a vector itself. So A equal to 2 tick B 0, 0. The first value, first row of the truth table is 0, 0. So I give it as, this is how you give the constant for a 2-bit signal. So that is 2 is the number of bits, tick comes in the format, B is the base, number system base, which is binary, and followed by the value, that is 0, 0. Next line I write hash 10, meaning after 10 time units I will make A equal to 2 tick B 0, 1. That is, I will make A equal to 0, 1. Again say after another 10 time units I will assign to A 1, 0. And finally I will give the last vector that is possible, that is A equal to 2B 1, 1. And end module. Look at the waveform of the combinational circuit that we have just designed in the previous slide. Note that in the waveform, the signal names displayed are A and B. And for your reference, I have also included the truth table. In the truth table, these are the signals that I have given in the design block, that is X and F. Okay, so if you recall, in the stimulus block I have mapped A to X and B to F. Okay, so in the stimulus block we have applied the input, that is 2-bit input X, as first we have given it as 00, then 01, after 10 nanoseconds 10, and finally 11. So here the values are displayed in decimal. Okay, so 0 first, initially at time t equal to 0, the input given was 00. Okay, and as per the truth table, the output should be 1. So that is what is displayed here. After 10 time units, I had given 01 to A, that is decimal 1 is displayed here. For 01, the output is 0. Okay, then hash 20, hash 10, that is after 10 time units from the current execution time. So that was 10 plus 10 becomes 20. At this point we gave the input as 10, which is equivalent to decimal 2. So for 10, the function value, output value is 1. And finally, again after another 10 time units, we have given the input as 11, which is decimal 3. And for 11 also, the output is 1. Okay, so this is how the output is displayed. In this video, we have seen a few examples for writing Verilog test benches. In the next video, we'll look into some more examples of test benches. Thank you for now.